just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the DMP. Do not forget to smash that like button. Smash that like button.
Smash it, dude.
And also subscribe button on YouTube, on Spotify for both Bloke and Hello Sport. It really helps us. It actually really does help the video. It's been unbelievable for our YouTube recently, so thank you so much. Also, just a quick shout out, at 6 p.m. tonight, I am releasing a chat with Timmy Zoo. I actually went to his family home, and it's actually one of the pieces of content I'm most proud of. This is I'm really proud of this one. You see Timmy Zoo in a light. You probably haven't seen him before. Really casual. He takes you through his family home. Obviously, Costa, his father, all his belts on the wall, his medals, everything. His grandfather was there as well. Shows you where he grew up. It's just a really cool chat. That's going to be on YouTube at 6 p.m. I'm really proud of it. Give it a watch because I want to do more content like that. And you would have seen it early in the year with some of the vlog stuff I've done. So yeah, make sure to check it out. It's really, you haven't seen Timmy Zoo like this relaxed. Boys, what's going on?
Doing, lad.
Doing, lad.
Doing, brah.
Doing, lad.
Doing, brah.
Speaking of being cool, actually, boys, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I know you think I'm a Magoo, but...
That's not true.
That's
not true. Your word's not ours.
You're a cool neckbeard.
Yeah, I think you're Magoo.
That
Magoo's
House
more
of
like...
Dragon shirt fucking drops panties.
I was about to say, I think I'm becoming a bit of a fashion icon in the sporting space. Have you seen all the comments I've been getting about my shirts?
That's because of us, though, right?
No, hang on a sec. I'm becoming a fashion icon for my own decisions.
Because of us, because we allowed you to feel comfortable in your own skin.
You need to start remembering something. And that is that it was your old mates Tom and Eddy who brought you out of your neckbeard shell and made you feel comfortable and in a safe place to express who you really are. You could finally drop the jock thing, and you could lean into building your rig at home and fucking wearing your fun shirts. Your Lord of the, you're wearing an Aragon shirt the other day. I'm a huge fan of Aragon. You know
that's what I mean. I'm a bit of a fashion icon.
I'm into that. Well, but that's off the back of us providing a safe space for you to be the fucking weirdo that you are.
See, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Weird's good, bro.
Yeah, but
you don't take it so negatively.
Look, saying someone's a fucking weirdo, that doesn't sound like a positive thing.
No, it doesn't sound like it, but you are a fucking weirdo in a good way.
In a good way.
In a good way.
Weird's good, mate.
Weird's better than just bland, vanilla, dull.
I feel like it's a backhanded compliment.
No,
it's not. Front-handed.
It's not. It's a compliment.
It's a
wristy.
Straight up wristy compliment.
Yeah, that's what you call a
compliment.
front-handed
wristy.
Front-facing wristy.
Well,
a front in the eyes, look in the eyes, wristy.
You can do it from the back, but
but you mean it, so it's looking at him.
So you're standing there. You're facing him. You're sort of
Facing.
across from him. Yeah. Yeah, that's intimate.
That's
what we're talking about.
Okay, it's intimate. Well, as I said, I just want to say I'm feeling like a bit of a fashion icon.
What are the people saying?
Just
what are the
man,
neckbeards doing?
sick shirt.
Yeah?
How good? Not the neckbeards, just everyone.
Well, yeah, but it's the neckbeards.
No, not really. Because
that Aragon shirt's not neckbeard.
No, it is
See?
neckbeard, but the Aragon shirt is cool, but it's its roots are in neckbeard.
Durry.
Yeah, neckbeard.
No, see, I think you would have used to call it neckbeardery, but the neckbeards have become cool now, therefore losing the neckbeard.
That doesn't know that because the neckbeard's still cool. It just means that they are a bit more. They're a bit more pop culture than neckbeard right now. But they're still the neckbeard.
Well, they're creating the culture with the Aragon.
At some point, fedoras were cool. They have since receded from society.
Were they ever cool?
Probably,
I don't know about that.
You know what I'm saying, though, right?
The Panama hat, maybe, not the fedora.
It's an analogy.
It's pretty similar, those things.
They're not though. They are different.
They are, but
like Pierce Brosnan, right? If he's wearing one in Cuba,
well, that's where he's at. You've got to be. Where is he placed? Because if he's at a neckbeard convention,
how far from the canal do you need to be?
If you're at a neckbeard convention wearing a Panama hat, it's just a big fedora.
Yeah. It's context.
Yeah,
it's context. If you're in a baby blue shirt, you've got a nice tan, you've got your fucking chest hair out,
and
smoking a cigar, and you are somewhere in Central America, you're good to go.
Like at a cafe with you're sitting back with a cigar.
I reckon you're laying down on a chair, like a layout, you're smoking a cigar.
Okay. And you might have some kind of Mission Impossible set behind you where you're about to go onto it.
Halle Berry's laying next to you naked.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. In Swordfish.
Yes. Or
one of the great all-time movies.
Or in Die Another Day.
Die Another Day.
Yep, that's fair.
Orange bikini areas, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think Swordfish is a better example of...
Well, no, it is because obviously Norks get out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's etched in the memory.
Yeah, but she was in Die Another Day, which was set in that area,
at
least in part.
That's fair.
You could say Monsters Ball, but that actually was a very dark film.
Yeah, that actually is not cool.
No
positivity about that one.
Dark film, but...
Did they actually fuck in that?
Well...
Is that... I feel like I've heard that as a rumour.
If they didn't, it'd be hard not to. Hard being the operative word.
Wow.
It's a lot. That means a lot. I wanted to keep on the fun, fluffy stuff.
Where do you get your neckbeard shirts from?
Culture Kings in America, mate. I went over there and I was like, I don't have any cool shirts. I've only got bloke kit, and I wasn't allowed to wear any bloke kit in any content or be in the stadium.
Right. Yeah.
So
that's huge for you.
You weren't allowed to wear bloke shit in the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Wow.
And you can't wear it in content. Is that because it's associated with a beer?
Listen, we don't need to go into
No,
the
okay, we don't need to go
details.
into it. Yeah, right.
So I just wasn't allowed
But
to.
I'm curious.
Isn't that interesting?
Well, that would have been hard for you, right?
Yeah.
Because you've been wearing bloke gear.
That's
You
why I
wore
had
it
to
your
buy new
wedding.
shirts. I had to literally go to America and buy a new shirt because I didn't have any other clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Like wore a bloke suit to his wedding.
No, I know. It was a bloke tux.
Bloke tux was orange.
Bloke Cedo.
Which will be coming out soon, Monday,
Yes.
6 p.m.
Yeah,
Be ready.
bloke.com.
Bloke Cedos.
Boys, so thank you for appreciating the fact that I am becoming a fashion icon in the sporting space. I
you're
appreciate
welcome.
that.
You're welcome.
Boys, I want to know, like, what stage of grief are you in at the moment? Have you,
I'm good. Now.
Acceptance.
Yeah, it's acceptance.
acceptance? So you've gone through it all?
Move on, dude.
Yeah, okay.
Move on.
I don't care anymore, to be honest with you. I'm just looking at the future.
You've moved on from
I'm
DC that
excited.
quick.
Yeah, I'm excited about the future.
Well, no, it's back to just 2025 season.
You guys are promiscuous.
Listen, we've been through this shit before.
To move on that quick is, I'm not going to say the
Well,
word.
what else can I do? I'm not going to wallow in pain.
Well, maybe just appreciate the time you had together.
That's what
That's what this season's about. I'm not going to carry negativity. Mate, you carry negativity around. You carry negativity around, it'll fuck you up.
No,
You
but
saw
you
the
can
Brook
also,
Vale,
mate, you need to heal properly, mate. You don't move on a week later.
We healed, mate. He came out to Brookie.
No,
The crowd
respect.
cheered.
No.
Everyone else, Hindy on Triple M was like, they're going to boo the fuck out of him. And then he comes out, he gets a cheer. Cherry gets a bit of mosh. It's nice.
But you got to, as I said, you got to respect the love you had. It sounded like you'd already moved on, and that's not healthy. That's not healthy, mate.
Who? I said you. I don't even know who we're moving on
You said what
to.
stage are we in? We said acceptance.
And you said you didn't care. Surely you care a little bit still.
No, I'm trying not to care.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying not to care.
You're just shutting your heart. You're just ice cold.
Yeah.
Ice cold.
Oh, I like to bury it deep within, mate. That's the healthy way.
That's
Comes
the
out
manly
in a-
way.
In a moment of rage somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you get fucking fiery sometimes.
Traffic.
You're getting punch-ons in the traffic, you know
punch-ons
what I
in
mean?
traffic,
But they
that's
deserve
all
it, though,
right.
you
Yeah.
know?
They do deserve
Just
it.
looking
cut
at
me
me
off,
weird.
mate.
Cut me
Hey,
off.
dickheads, mate.
Fucking.
I'll tell you what, he bloody deserved. The bloke parking McPark this morning.
Exactly.
Didn't even bloody apologise for it.
Exactly.
Bloody
No, we're
dickhead.
looking to just win the comp this year, Dan.
Okay.
Just win the comp.
That's fair.
And
I
I-
will say, it brought a little bit of a tear to my eye to see him be cheered by the audience. Now, granted, I did hear that he was booed when his face came up on the screen, but that's all alleged. I don't know if it's true.
No,
that'd
that's
be
not true.
cucks, dude.
That's
That'd
not
be
true.
cucks.
It did bring a tear to the eye that he ran out and he got cheered. The fans, they didn't fall for the quote-unquote smear campaign. That's not my words. That's from the great man himself. And I respect Manly fans for that. You know what I mean? That's a big win for
we're
Manly
proper
fans.
fans. Like obviously you wouldn't see that in Brisbane.
No, we boo Payne
You wouldn't
Haas.
see that. You wouldn't see it Parramatta.
We literally booed Payne Haas before he'd even done anything.
Yeah, and then
He's thought about
covered
it.
your training ground with wooden spoons.
And all he did was want a little bit of an upgrade, one of the greatest forwards all time, and we booed him for it.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's what we're talking about. We're a bit more cultured, a bit more.
I still have no idea what the truth is, though. I'm
you
not,
never will, mate.
I'm not booing daily, and I don't care anymore. I'm good, moved on. Let's win the comp sort of stuff. But I have no idea because you read that newspaper, they say one thing, and that paper they have another thing, and the truth is somewhere in the middle. And then some people, it's like an opinion. It's like, well, he shouldn't have fucking announced it like that. And some people are like, well, they didn't offer him a fucking contract. Like, we did offer him a fucking contract. And I'm like, dude, I don't know anymore.
See, I just look at the facts that they both agreed on. And the facts they both agreed on is no contract was offered until that Tuesday
I don't
morning.
think they do agree on those facts.
No, he came out and said no formal
I
contract
know
was
that's
offered.
what he said, but then they're saying, man, they were like, no, we didn't fucking like.
The
give him
CEO said
one.
that.
Yeah, but they were like, we actually did offer him it.
Well, who do you think's backtracking?
Denon, I am a very respected figure of the club.
They got the call. They got the call.
Yeah, shut up. No, I don't know though. You know what I mean?
You're never gonna know.
I don't boo
I'm pretty
daily.
confident
Put it that
I
way.
know.
I'm not booing daily.
As
much of an inside as you can
As a
get.
guy not inside the four walls of Manly, so I don't have to worry about anything like that, I think it's pretty clear what happened. And I actually don't mind Manly moving on from DCE. That's what I don't get. In reality, he's won 4 finals games in like 10 years or something like that. He's 36 years old. No, but these are all things that are true that they could have said, like, this is why we're moving forward.
That's the cattiest thing I've ever heard you say.
Yeah.
Because you didn't even caveat it.
What do you mean?
Well, usually you caveat it with like, now I'm not saying he's a piece of shit, but he's only won 4 finals games. Instead, you just fucking said it.
I'm not saying he wasn't trying in those games that he hasn't won, but like he hasn't won them. That's what I would have expected from you. So
Yeah. Well, maybe your expectations need to change.
Okay.
And so, like, there was a reason that you could have said, this is why we're moving forward. They would look strong. Instead, they went this weird route of like, we did want to keep him, but actually we didn't want to keep him.
That's where it gets weird.
It's like, which one was it? Did you not want to keep him or did you want to keep him? I don't understand.
You're right, though. If they didn't want him, they should have just said it instead of like calling up at 360.
Maybe it's like, though, I don't know whether this was more how I was like, this is probably how more I behaved when I was in my like early teens, when you had like girlfriends and shit at school. It was like,
I didn't have any of them.
I didn't want to be the one to like break up.
Oh, so you
like,
passively like...
Well, you just would, not like neg or but like you just would almost wait until
Ghost.
they didn't like you.
Good old-fashioned ghosting.
You just let it drag on.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say I didn't just get straight out dumped. That is very true. I've already been at lengths to explain how my wife's done that to me multiple times.
I don't blame her, to be honest.
Well, as in like we've broken up multiple times.
Have you?
Over the fucking years.
Yeah, right.
Only one time where it was like
She's proven her loyalty. She stayed with you with that bloody boil.
Oh, I know, dude. She did, and she's looked at it a few times, which is she stared down the fucking eye.
That's love.
But it maybe Manly's just trying to neg Daly there, where it's like, listen, we do want to break up with you, but we don't want to be the person to do it because I don't like confrontation.
Just trying to mess with his head a little bit. So he's like, do you guys actually love me?
Yeah, I know what you mean. So they wanted him to leave because they didn't want to be seen to be getting
Like
rid of
club
a
legend.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's not the worst theory of all time.
Don't mind it.
The
Guys,
problem is who are we moving on to?
that's where I'm a bit confused. It's like,
that's where it gets confusing.
If you wanted to move on, there should be a plan. However, maybe there is a plan. They just haven't revealed it yet.
Well, the plan sounds scat.
Well, we'll see. If we haven't signed someone by
I think Foggy. I think Foggy will end up there.
Next
But
year?
don't the Raiders have an option to sign for next year?
They're happy with him to go.
Reportedly, if he gets offered a good, lucrative deal, that they won't stand in his way. At least that's reportedly. You
Because
just
they've
never
got
know.
like Strange and Sanders coming through, is it?
So Strange is already there 6, and Sanders is the 7 that's coming through.
Is Sanders decent?
Yeah. Well, he's by all the metrics you could measure a young player, he's good.
How old is he?
I think he's like 20.
See, they're fucking so green, these players. Surely you'd
If I was the green jerseys, mate. That's why they're green
But
jerseys.
if I was the Raiders, and like I'll happily take Fogarty, I'd actually been already talking about him, how like to my Raiders mate, I was like, he's a good style of bloke. I don't mind. He's good. You're good when he's playing.
Fair set of pipes on him too.
Fair set of pipes on him. But if I was a Raiders fan, I'd be like, wait, why the fuck? It's a bit of DCE about it. Why the fuck are we getting rid of a 31-year-old half who's like really good at leading us around? Like, sure, we've got a young kid coming through, but like, what are we doing?
I think Raiders fans would probably be more accepting due to the fact that this plan has been in place for like 5 years. Like this plan the Raiders are currently in, it is all going to plan. So I think that, again, look, I can't speak for Raiders fans. I just assume.
And the Raiders as well, I think it might be a little bit different for the Raiders in the sense that if you've got someone that could be someone
Anything.
in your system,
Like a Humphries or something.
you can't let them go like Manly has, right?
Like Humphries.
Like Manly's let go of 2 halves in the last couple of years, right? Like
But we also
if you're
bought
the
some-
Raiders, you can never get someone back in. That's the difference.
Once you let him go, you're fucked.
Once you're fucked, you know, like you're not signing a 7 down there. Really.
We let go of halves and signed halves at the same time, which is what was
Well, that's the Manly way.
Jake Arthur.
That's the Manly way.
Cooper Johns.
We're also big on like just stockpiling outside backs. The more
Where's
the
Tommy
merrier.
Talau gone?
Hey.
Is he still injured?
Must be.
But in saying that, you're stacked with outside backs. As in, like, you've had Lehigh's been on the wing, so he would have taken. If Lehigh's out of the side, I think Tommy Talau would.
Clayton
be.
Fualo's in this week.
Oh
though.
yeah, it's a good point. Maybe it's just form. Maybe form or injury. Maybe
Jesus
injury.
Christ. Like, I mean, I feel like Tommy Talau. Oh, there's some big fellas walking down there.
Okay.
No, there's like some monsters. They're very tall. I was
Okay.
like.
Okay. Basketball players.
Are they breathtaking?
They took my breath away, yeah. Yeah, I just would have thought Tommy Talau after last year was sort of like, we just give Tommy Talau a crack here. He does what he wants.
Good
Maybe
style
he's
of bloke too, Tommy Talau.
If you want to talk style of a bloke.
Good looking bloke too, Tommy.
Yeah,
Talau.
he's a good sort, mate. Good sort. Clayton Flalau, also very good player. He's been in New South Wales Cup scoring a bunch of tries for multiple years.
Yeah,
So he's a good player, bloody good player.
No, he's a good player.
You seem very distracted by the large
The guy,
gentleman
he
down the
was
hallway.
fucking monstrous. He was a giant.
Was he naked or what?
No, he was just this big, like, Tongan fella. He was like, but his like head was like hitting the roof. Anyway, he's gone now, so I can.
So an Asian man walked around the corner.
No, not that gentleman.
Not him.
He's nowhere near that same size. Anyway, I'm back.
Okay, so yeah, look, it is what it is. That stuff happened. Grab some good day. Use
That's
code
right.
DMP for 10% off. pair it with a subscription, you get another 10% off. That's 20% off. You're basically ripping these blokes off if you do that.
That's right.
So if you want to rip these blokes off, do it.
But also, daylights.
Is it here? Is it now? Is the time now?
So, daylight savings ends this Saturday night,
that.
early Sunday morning. Everyone's going to be, except for Queenslanders, upset by it. So, to soften the blow, daylight's released to the punter and the dribbler this Sunday at bigwoodhealth.com.au. If you're a subscriber, guess what? We're looking after you. You should have already received an email, but you're getting early access, 24 hours early, baby, on this Saturday. You get in while the getting's good, because we don't have a heap of this shit.
No, we don't.
You get in while the getting's good, you're a subscriber. We're looking after our subscribers first. Now, Denner, did you know this? 8 out of 10 of Australians are dehydrated. That's a fact.
That's worrying. That's worrying.
It's highly alarming and it's highly concerning. Now, that's where Daylights comes in, a daily electrolyte, mate, that's going to fucking hydrate the nation.
Yep.
Okay.
What's better is it uses, guess what?
What?
Australian salt sourced from the Murray River.
Heard of it?
Source from Australia.
So all these people
Not
are
just
there,
Australia.
I only you have Celtic salt. Oh, right. Oh, you're fucking supporting foreign salt, are you?
Yeah.
Is that what you're about?
You're fucking betraying the nation.
You're foreign salt guy. This is Australian salt, Tom.
Yeah, Murray-Darling salt. Not just Australian Murray-Darling salt, the most famous river in all of the land. But
It's our Mississippi.
It is our Mississippi. I would thank you. A bit of information around the Murray-Darling generally and its salinity issue, of which that it's well documented.
Does that have a salinity issue?
I'm sure everyone already knows this. I'm
You-
raking over
surely you
old
know
coals.
that.
I didn't know that.
Salinity issue. So while you're hydrating yourself, Denon, while you're doing your damnedest to stay hydrated, as 8 out of 10 Australians need to be doing, you're also helping reduce the salinity of the Murray-Darling, thus making it a greater ecosystem for whatever the fuck lives
For
in there.
biodiversity.
Yeah.
So you're giving back 839 milligrams of the greatest salt in all the world in every sachet, 30 in a box. Get after
None
it.
of this lab-grown sodium
No, no.
bullshit.
Hey,
you
listen,
get in some of these
look,
other ones.
I can't
Real
confirm.
salt.
I can't confirm, but if you drink other hydration products, you could be charged with espionage due to the foreign nature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or you're drinking that lab-created sodium, which is yeah. This is watermelon flavour. It's fucking elite, and you're going to be obsessed with it. So give it a try, biggoodhealth.com.au. Code dribblers. No, code DMP.
Code damn.
And you know what's
Go
great?
down,
That wasn't an ad.
No,
That
not
wasn't
an
even
ad.
That was just you talking about things you're passionate
That
about.
was an impassioned plea.
Yeah.
It's a
For
play to the
nation.
people. A play to the people.
You're trying to save the ecosystem and 8 out of 10 Australians.
Yep, correct. You piss yellow. Do something about it.
Do something about it, mate. Do something about it.
Tommy Talau has not played a single game of rugby league this year. Hasn't played reserve grade, hasn't played NRL. It seems like, according to Twitter, that his hemi injury is taking longer to fix next week.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
All right, Tommy.
Okay. Boys, Payne Haas and Samoa. So Payne Haas reportedly, so he actually reported on the verge of pledging to Samoa. Chamis broke the news. Payne Haas came out and he said, listen, obviously I care a lot about my Samoan heritage. And he said he'd wait till the end of the year until he's made that decision. It hasn't been made yet. Look, I don't want to put words in Payne's mouth at all, but it seems like it's probably going to happen. I've actually heard these whispers for quite a while around Payne and to a lesser degree Tino. This is such, I don't know the answer, bro.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
where I'm
because my heart says, mate, let everyone play for whoever the fuck they want. Who cares? But then my head goes, okay, that if we just go willy-nilly, then why can't Kiwis play in Origin and English, and then I start going, hey, that feels a bit weird.
Yeah.
So I'm really confused about how I feel. However, at the moment, priority number one should be growing the game, so I'm okay with it. Because New Zealand and England, although they do need a little bit of help with growing the game, not as much as the Pacific nations. But then I get to a point where I go, could you imagine a world, and this actually, Cam Smith spoke about this, he was like, there could come a time in 10, 15 years where most of the players playing Origin don't actually play for Australia, which would be a bit weird.
It would be
weird.
No, it would be very weird.
And so the only thing I want to say this is, first of all, I totally empathise with the Pacific nations. For so many years, you've had guys that would have played for Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, but because of the pressure of money and prestige, they chose Australia. So I get it. For so many years, you've sat there and gone, he would play for my nation. However, the way I liken to it this, imagine a world where the North Island and South Island of New Zealand had a state of origin, similar to what we have. And they eventually play for the All Blacks in rugby union. Let's just imagine that. Imagine if they had a North Island and South Island game, but most of those players ended up playing for Australia. Or let's just say there was a Samoa district or precinct, I'm not sure what they call it, states or whatever. Let's say they had a state of origin that was just based on their island. And then those players eventually, like it got to a point where all those players eventually just decided to play for Australia instead of Samoa. That would be the equivalent of what we're kind of potentially looking at down the track. So that's where I go, I don't know the friggin' answer to this.
The problem is, I think, if you were to just like play this thing out, I don't know what the increase in like Pacific Islander players into the NRL has been over the 10 years, but if you keep mapping it out, you're going to get to a point where it's going to be like the vast majority.
It's
of
already
players,
nearly
right?
majority. It's honestly already nearly
so
majority.
if you keep going down that path, we will reach a point where Australia is no longer the dominant nation
I'm okay
of rugby league. However, at that point, when a lot of these players with Islander heritage are playing state of origin and then going to play for Samoa or Tonga and dominating Australia, people are going to be up in arms about it at that point.
Yeah.
So the thing is, we're growing the game now, which everyone's cool with because Australia's still fucking winning. But when Australia's getting pumped and everyone's still playing state of origin, that's when there'll be an issue.
Yeah, and I'm with you, mate. Like, I'm okay with Australia not being number one. Like, I'm all for whoever wants to, like, whatever is the most passionate country you play for them. However, I do think I don't think it's unreasonable for an Australian to be like, well, I'd hope that we don't get to a point where people playing for Queensland, New South Wales don't eventually play for my country that that it's in, that the National Rugby League is in. So that's where I get confused. I don't know what the answer is.
Well, it's tough because you're like, I heard them talking about maybe it was AFB, who's played for New Zealand and now he's played for Tonga. He was born in Meadowbank.
Played for Mascot.
Yeah. And so you just sort of like, okay, so technically you are eligible for New South Wales, but you've opted against representing an Australian state by going and playing for a foreign country. The problem is if you say, okay, well, if you go play for those countries, you can't play state of origin, you will then find yourself back in that same issue where those countries aren't going to have fucking your Payne Haas's and your Tinos. Like,
which is good to see.
It's great that they're going over and doing that, and you want it to be competitive. But I definitely am like, okay, fine, don't play origin. Like, but again, it's not black and white. So it's like, even when you say it, you realise there's going to be an inherent problem.
Do you think that state of origin could remain the pinnacle of Australian sport if the best players aren't playing in it? So if you got to a point where you go, all right, if you want to represent Tonga or Samoa, you can't play state of origin, and due to their cultural ties that are fucking strong, as we know, they go, right, I'm gonna play internationally. I'm gonna forego state of origin. Then do you get to a point where state of origin is like, is it the best players? Is it the best players? If it's not, is it that important anymore?
Well, but I mean, I know state of origin has always been the best players, so it's hard to really make the argument against what you're saying. But like, there is more tied into state of origin than
just
the best
players.
Best.
Well, you go look at 2020.
But you're guessing about the importance of it.
Well, here's an example.
I'm 2020, more tied into it.
2020, we were decimated Queensland, and there was a famous win. It was like, honestly, some guys playing essentially reserve grade were getting selected.
True.
So there is an example of that. But I get what you're saying, because it's almost the reverse problem of if we let all the best players play in 10 years' time, they're not playing for Australia. At the same time, if the demographic of NRL continues to increase, like we think it will, we could find...
Which is like I'm assuming it
probably
does.
will. It probably will. There could be, in 10, 20 years, it could be literally 80% Pacific nations, like the players make up Pacific nations, or Kiwis as well. And that's where you go, yes, we have enough depth now to handle it. So, for example, if all the guys put their hands up, like let's say, Critter, Bizza, like you've got guys like Lomax could come in, Bradman Best could come in. So we've got depth now.
We're still the best.
Yeah, but in 10 or 15 or 20 years, that depth would be all Polynesian players, because the increased demographic has just continued to trend in the same direction. So honestly,
how many players are there in the NRL? Like, I mean,
400. I think it's about the 400 number.
I think it's about 50% now, and like 10 years ago it was about 10%.
Yeah. Well, you go back and you look at early 2000 Origin teams, and there's very few Polynesian players in it. Very few. Now, I think it's about 7 from the 17 last year. Chamis did a good breakdown on his
I wonder
podcast.
if there's anything you can do where you're like, if your parents were born here, you can't play for a fucking other country. Like, as in, if you're an Islander and your parents are born,
then you
here,
may as well say no to the international game's dead. Then
As in, like, you can only be one.
You've got to be one generation removed
yeah.
from the country you want to go play. Like, again, I'm just trying to throw shit at the wall here. But, like, you know, if your parents are born in Tonga and then you're born in Australia, you're like, well, my fucking, you know, all my family is over there. But, like, if everyone's essentially Australian here,
for sure. But then you may as well say get by to the international game because like, you know,
that's the problem.
If you went everyone that's born in Australia, you just wouldn't have enough players to play for Tonga and Samoa, and there is that added pressure, like them moving from Samoa and Tonga to Australia for a better life. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these other societal reasons why they do move to Australia, all that kind of stuff. So, mate, I don't know what the answer is.
It's very dicky.
It is.
It's just like, I don't know what the answer is. I seriously don't. My heart says let the boys play for who they want, but at some point the rubber's going to meet the road where we're going to have a tough conversation.
My heart doesn't say let them play wherever they want either. Like, as in, there's no great outcome. So that's what is acknowledged, is that, like, there's no way that it works where something doesn't get fucked. But I certainly don't like the idea of play for whoever you want and then still play Origin, because I feel like that absolutely just dilutes what Origin is.
I'm with you
what
there.
What if you look at it differently? You sort of frame it differently. So you go, okay, what's the cutoff now? 10 or 8 or 13?
12, I think 12 or 13, like if they're in Australia before 13.
I think it's 13 or 14, yeah.
Okay.
What if you drop it down, like, I just work with me, argument's sake. What if it was 10? So therefore, you have, for most of your life, lived in a state. You've lived in a society, an Australian society. You get the culture. You get every aspect of it. So then you can represent New South Wales or Queensland because you've experienced it for so long.
Well, what about born?
But then when it gets to international, you can just represent your heritage.
Why don't you just go born here then? You got to be born here. If you want to go and play for the heritage,
you could.
But you got to be born. You got to be born here.
Mate,
as in, like, if you want to play New South Wales or Queensland,
you've got to be born in those
here,
states,
and then you can
still also. Yeah. But if you just came here and you want the best of both worlds, it's sort of like, well, no, that's
that would clear it up.
That would clear it up, sort of.
Yeah, I just don't think you'd have enough people to play for Samoa and Tonga there, because most Samoa and Tongan boys with the heritage were born here.
Yeah, but he's saying you can choose that.
You can choose that.
At that point,
if you move here at 10, you got to play for Samoa or Tonga. If you're born here,
but then you can't play Origin.
Yeah.
If you're born here, that's the difference. Is that you can't. If you're born here, you can play Origin or you can play Samoa Tonga. However, if you choose Samoa and Tonga, they're essentially tier 1 nations now. And just quickly with a lot of people get confused in the tier 1 nations. They look at results and say, oh, this country should be tier 1 because they're beating Australia or New Zealand or whatever. Tier 1 is about the resources.
It's funding.
Yeah, funding and resources and development. Yeah, that's where the tier 1 comes from. And so the reason why I'm okay with it now is in, like, Tino and Payne playing for Samoa is because my priority is the growth of the game.
Yes.
But as soon as that becomes, the priority is no longer needed, as in, let's say they did have all the funding they needed and all the pathways they needed, then you have to start asking yourself, well, if they're on par with New Zealand, why can't Kiwis play for... You'd have a double standard.
Yes.
The double standard at the moment, I feel, is removed due to the fact of priority of growing the game. But at some point, that growth will happen, and at some point, it will become unfair for Kiwis and Englishmen not to be able to play Origin if they were born here.
That's exactly 100%. And that's why I was saying, if you're mapping out the growth in Polynesian players in the game, at a certain point, they're going to be stronger than everyone else.
We're just going to have more players.
And then that's when it'll be an issue. So you're always better off trying to get on top of it now.
That's what
I just think that they're going to... I think that they're in a position right now, the NRL's happy. You get the best players playing in the NRL, in State of Origin, more or less. Great for the product. Great for the casual fan. Yep. Great for kids. Like, oh, is Payne Haas playing in Origin? Fucking oath, he's my favourite player. Like, so that's all good. And then also you're growing the game. So I think they're happy as the way it is now.
But the rubber will meet the road eventually. Yes. And I think that's a really key point in regards to kids. If the Polynesian numbers increase, which they will, you do want the pinnacle of our game, young kids, because the Polynesian population will continue to grow in Australia, to be able to look at, oh, he's my favourite player, even though, I'm Samoan, I was born here, but he also plays for Samoa. It's just, I don't know what
happens, and this is going to get a bit Sky Newsy unintentionally, but like, at what point are you also Australian? You know what I mean? Like, if you're born in fucking Australia, obviously you've got your heritage is one thing, but like nationality can be a different thing. Yep. And like, at some point, there's also like, again, Sky Newsy unintentionally, but like, you've come here for a better life. You've got this country that's provided you the better life, so maybe give back to that country as well. Maybe, and again, that's not an easy thing to just ask someone to do. If they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. But like, part of it's like,
well, I think if
be fucking Australian, because Australia's mad as well.
If that's the case, yeah, for sure. Like, I'm with you. I'm a proud Australian. I think Australians. I'm with you in regards to like, if they want to play for it and the country's given so much. And Tino's actually spoken about this. How his father said
that's what I thought. And then he was going, I'm like, what the fuck, Tino?
Well, no, Tino hasn't said anything. It's just been whispers around Tino.
Okay.
Tino hasn't said anything. And so the problem is, though, if we do take that mentality of like, you've got to choose for Australia or whatever, I think you run the risk of like, we'll just always be an Australian-based game. Then. Like, which we technically we are. I think sometimes that gets a bit lost in the noise. It's a national rugby league, which is Australian National Rugby League. And so, but I just think that if we want to grow the game in the Pacific nations, there is going to have to be a give and take at some point. Matty, what do you reckon, mate?
So I was going to say before, I was randomly looking at YouTube this morning, and a DMP popped up from 2021, and we were having this exact same discussion.
I knew it.
This exact same discussion.
I think we've had it a couple of times.
My personal opinion is that Origin International is different. I don't know whether that's the right opinion, but that's my opinion. I have no problem with Payne Haas playing for Samoa, playing for Origin. I wouldn't have had a problem with Kieran Foran playing for Kiwis.
So for example, in let's just say 20 years' time, if you were to watch Origin and none of those players play for Australia, there'll be no issue to you?
No issue at all.
Okay, fair enough.
Because to me, it's completely separate. I don't know if that's the right
But
idea.
they're playing for Australian states.
I tend to agree with you. I see them as different things.
The thing that's really
And
grinding my gears.
but I need to know that players representing those states have experienced those states.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't be a gun for hire and grow up in England and then play fucking two games.
Yeah, 100%. There has to be strict criteria around it. But the thing, and this is what brought me back to the YouTube video, it has to be sorted out now, because the flip-flopping around in countries, to me, is complete bush league. We talk about...
agreed.
We talk about diluting Origin. I reckon there's nothing more unprofessional than players changing countries.
Yeah.
I reckon they got to pick, before they even play NRL, pick a state,
But doesn't
pick a country.
that almost go counter to your argument that you're making now? Because let's say I've got Samoan dad, Tongan mum, and you're saying like there's a difference between state and nation, which is similar along the veins of like, I want to represent my dad for a few years and I want to represent my mum for a few years.
Yeah, but like if you look at, say, like rugby, you fucking play for, you pick a country and you play for them, and you are a Wallaby, you are a Fijian player, you are an English player.
I'm more saying, doesn't that go contrary
they flop
to...
around, don't they? Don't they? Have players
I think
played for
there's
Italy and then they come play for Australia?
No.
But to me, state international is completely different. That like Origin and international footy could not be more separate.
Like when Hayne was going to go to rugby union, but he played a sevens game for Fiji.
That's right. No, you're right. You are right.
Mate,
It's the flip-flopping in league. I'm getting
It does,
confused.
yeah, because I mean, like, it's a good point, Matty. It is bush league, and whilst I get you want to represent fucking both heritages, it's like tough shit. Sorry, not possible. Pick one.
But isn't a state a heritage?
Yeah, dude, to a degree, and that's why I'm not entirely on the like.
And that's my argument.
Yeah,
is
but
like
New
if
Zealand,
you're
New South Wales aren't playing Australia. It's different. It's different.
but it's still a
playing
a
Queensland.
place that you're from.
Yeah, but
like-
you're not flip-flopping New South Wales to Queensland.
No,
You're flip-flopping...
but you're flip flopping it. So those two states.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want that. I don't want that at all.
No.
But what Matty's saying is he says the international game and state of origin is completely different things, and he's ignoring the tie between them being
I get
Australian
it,
states.
but let me just say, like, so the reason what makes playing for your country great is because you grew up in that country. It's everything it gave you. It's your connection to it. The reason why playing for Queensland is great is because I grew up in the Queensland. So the connection to the jerseys is exactly the same. And just to make up like, well, I don't care, there's a difference. That may be for you, but the core principle of what makes wearing that jersey great is exactly the same for Queensland and for Australia, or New South Wales and Australia. And so like, I don't know if you can just go, they're not connected.
Are you comfortable wearing it in favour of the growth of the game? That's where it gets to.
100%. So if you presented an argument to me that said, listen, the game will benefit more from this situation, like as in Origin won't be affected, it'll still be unbelievable, but the international game will grow heaps and the game will get bigger, I would be willing to go, you know what? I'm willing to just ignore that for the greater good of the game.
Because that's what you're being asked to do.
Do you think, this is a question, not an opinion, what is the the growth of the game potential for having strong Samoa Tonga. Like, obviously that's positive,
Yeah,
right?
we just assume it's going to be.
We assume it's going to be like, oh, fuck, dude, the game's just going to go to another level.
That's a good point.
Origin is the pinnacle of the sport.
Bigger than any other sport in the country.
It's bigger than any other sport in the country. It's the most watched fucking event in the country, and it's because of the ties that, it's because of basically everything that it's been built into it so far. The international game is far from that. It may improve by allowing the people to represent the country heritage, but you're weakening a strength to strengthen a weakness.
Potentially weakening.
Potentially.
Could you see it as a tool to win in the battle of Union versus League? Because at the moment,
Globally speaking.
Union is still
way bigger worldwide.
Fiji, for example, rugby's way bigger in Fiji. So a lot of the talent in that country is going to rugby union.
I reckon
if there was a stronger Pacific nations national identity, do more people play league?
Bro, we're talking about the fact they're almost the majority of the game. So, I don't think you're lacking in Pacific representation in rugby league. There may be a benefit there, but I'm just being it's not like we're struggling for a fucking big, thick, glorious Tongan in rugby league, right? There's fucking heaps.
I would say if you could show me that it wouldn't affect Origin and the game would grow, I reckon I'd be willing to go put my own preferences aside and go with it. Matty, you were just going to say something before, sorry, mate?
Oh, no. This has gone back a bit, so it's probably relevant.
That's all right, go back.
I was going to say, representing one side, if your mum's one heritage and your dad's one heritage, I'm not saying that at all, because I'm also saying, what if your mum was from Queensland and what if your dad's from New South Wales? That's that's a cardinal sin. No one even thinks about playing for the other Origin team. To me, they couldn't be more. They're not even the same conversation for me.
But for example, if a player was playing for Australia and then he switched to New Zealand, that would be considered a cardinal sin because we have the rivalry. The reason why it's not as much a cardinal sin between Samoa and Australia, there's not really the history against each other.
Yeah, but I don't think they should be able to change. I mean, sorry, right now is fine because that's in the rules. Payne Haas has every right to, but I reckon they should set, I don't know, after the 2027 World Cup, let's change it, because as I said, we spoke about this 3 years ago. If we just keep talking about it,
when it came up yesterday, or whenever the Payne Haas news dropped, and I could end at 360 or someone's talking about, I'm like, fuck.
Here we go again.
We go
the
over
same
all the
conversation.
time.
But that's the thing, though. The rubber will meet the road, and where
100%.
The thing is, I want to make it extremely clear, at least from my perspective. I think we're all kind of in the same boat to a degree. You sound really right wing.
Welcome back to Sky News.
I'm not intelligent enough. I don't know what the answer is. I really don't.
No.
That's just me being honest.
I think a potentially achievable fix is you've got to pick out the gate. So you can't, if you want to play for Australia, you play for Australia.
How would you remove the financial pressure of that pick? Because at the moment there still is a bit of a financial pressure to play Origin, to play for Australia.
Well, I mean, so you could still play Origin if you're eligible, but you can't play for the Kangaroos and then go play for Samoa because that flip-flopping thing. That's an immediate fix that you can fucking fix that right now.
Yeah.
That's not a difficult fix.
Yep.
You fucking pick a country and that's it. We will get to the Origin shit later on, but right now, you could do that tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think that, and obviously you'd say it to people coming through, so it's fair.
And then if you are trying to maintain that connection to state, I think if you're born there, you can play for them. So if we're still going, if you got to be born, you're born in New South Wales or Queensland, but your parents
13's a bit late.
Your parents are Tongan. It's okay, well, when you get to an age where you want to pick your nationality and you pick Tonga over Australia, that's sweet, but you were born in Queensland and have lived in there for 10 years. Born there, lived there for fucking 10 years. You can represent Queensland. You are Queensland. It's ingrained in you enough.
But in your way though, are you saying if you play for Queensland, you have to play for Australia?
No,
or no, you can play for whoever you want?
I'm saying you can play for whoever you want. At least then it's not just he's a fucking big star who gives a shit. It's you are still a Queenslander.
And you're protecting the understanding that you know what it means to be a Queenslander.
Yep.
Because you were reared.
Perfect example is Ponga. He hasn't played for Australia yet. He probably could and wants to. He hasn't said this, but it's been inferred that he wants to play for New Zealand in the All Blacks. But he loves Queensland.
He hasn't played for Australia. He has played for Australia a couple of times, but just not the main Australian side.
One. Yeah. I'm just using him as an example.
Australia A or something, didn't he? Or he played
Australia and also the Seven tournaments. But I think he also played in that game. Remember a few years ago there was a junior Australia side or whatever?
Yeah, probably junior
Brimo on that
or something. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure might have played in that. I think Cam Murray. He got upgraded. Yeah, as I said, bro, I fucking don't know what the answer is, bro. It gives me a headache because
I look forward to chatting again in 3 years.
Yeah, we will be. But when I hear a young fella that, grew up in Queensland but has Samoan heritage. And when he speaks to me, I'm like, what? How could I ever stop you from wanting to represent your father or your mother's heritage? But at the same time, like, you're living in fairyland if you don't think that at some point the rubber will meet the road and there's going to be consequences for this flipping and flopping and all that kind of stuff.
I also, and this is a slightly off-topic thing, I'm going to need you to clip up every time he said rubber meet the road this podcast.
It's actually an ongoing joke.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. There you go.
You guys just didn't get it, so you're not
No, I
laughing
didn't get it. I'm like, fuck me, dude. He is rubber meeting the road today. Holy shit.
Last year's season preview, I kept saying it every time we would do our predictions for where in the ladder. And then so I did again this year.
Holy
and now
fuck, cunt. He is pounding this into the core of the earth.
But yeah, I'm not sure what the answer is, boys. I don't know. I really don't. It's such a tough, people that sit there and say what you say, I see where you're coming from in regards to the split. I'm not probably there that far. However, I see what you're saying in regards to if you're born here, mate, it's just
shit show.
And also I think one argument that is quite strong is like the rules that we initially had were made when demographics were different than they are now. Now, for the last 25 years, there is a lot of Polynesian boys that have come in. So it's a different game, a different makeup of the game.
Different.
And so the argument could be made, we're in a different time, so do we need different rules?
Yep.
My gut is that...
I think you could say, yeah, probably.
My gut is that the NRL will always prioritise the best players being able to play
in Origin.
Yeah. That's my gut.
Tough one. Alrighty, boys. Don't forget to join the Bloke Club. Automatically join. You go in the draw to win a Mazda BT50. Completely free to enter. No strings attached. It's all thanks to Luke Camilleri. Go to LDC_01. If you need a car, he is your man. Trust me, you've already had quite a few bloke community members reach out to him. He's taking care of them. He's actually a genius when it comes to cars. He knows all his stuff thanks to Aspley Mazda as well. Now, in the Bloke Club currently, the other day, on Monday, we gave away our first monthly prize, which was $2,000 cash. We're doing $2,000 cash again this month. So make sure to join. You automatically go in the draw. And also, right now, it's 30% off Musashi products, 40% off DMP shirts, 20% off Grumpy Coffee. And as I said, we're giving away a brand new Mazda BT50 thanks to Luke Camilleri, LDC_01, and Matt Aspley Mazda.
Nice.
Okay. All right, high tackle crackdown, boys. High tackle crackdown. So initially, they were, Buzz, the great man, came out and said, look, any high tackle, you're gone. Then Abdo came on 360, I think, and he said basically, no mitigating circumstances and forceful, that's when you're gone.
It was like the next segment. It was fucking perfect. It was like, Buzz, any high tackle and you got to fight, you go into the sin bin. And then Fox League put it up on their Instagram and everyone's blowing up and then it gets taken down. It's like, wait, what the fuck is going on here? And then it was like next segment, Abdo comes out and he's like, that is not the case. Buzz got a little bit.
So we got a crackdown, boys. We got our first, technically our second crackdown. I feel like the first one kind of just disappeared, the play the ball one.
I've made that's not the first time that's happened.
That's what they do.
That's not the first time the play the ball one. Except, admittedly, this year it was quicker to go.
Yeah, it was really quick.
I think last year it was like 12 rounds, maybe. This time it was like fucking 2. Like, all right.
I'm glad it disappeared though.
It's the
dumbest crackdown in the history of the game.
I actually didn't mind it. I'm going to put my hands up. I didn't mind it. I hated players rolling the ball through the league.
It makes no fucking difference.
It makes a lot of difference.
It makes a little difference.
Half a second is a lifetime in a play.
I don't think it's half a second difference.
I reckon it would be.
I don't think it's even half a second difference. It's fucking
get the stoppie out.
Yeah, I might have to, mate, this weekend.
You know what? Mate, you know what? You should actually do it though. We should actually film you seeing if you can do it quicker.
But I am not an athlete anymore.
But it would be all relative.
No, it's still relative.
Well, it's right, it's relative. But I mean,
anymore. I like you threw in anymore there.
There you go.
Anyway, the high tackle crackdown, boys. What are your thoughts?
It seems like it's the exact same rule.
Yeah, nothing's changed though, right? Direct contact with the head with no mitigating circumstances, i.e., did it bounce off the shoulder, yes or no?
Did the guy fall?
Did the foot guy slip, yes or no? If he slips, you're sweet. If it bounces off the shoulder, you're sweet. If you go straight for the head, you're off. I always thought that was the case.
You know what? It actually might...
Or is that not the case?
It might even be a softening of the rule because I feel
like it used to be a red.
I feel like when you were seeing guys get sent to the sin bin when someone had slip into a stiff arm. Now it's like, the mitigating circumstances. It almost feels like they've gone, oh no, we're going to be way more nuanced about the way we do it.
And forgive me if I'm wrong, Tom.
I will forgive you.
But was it just a couple of years ago whereby if you had hit the head without the mitigating circumstances, you got sent off?
I feel like they did that in Magic Round. Perfect time to do it.
Magic Round, didn't like fucking 6 or 7 people around get sent off the field?
There was 14. Yeah, there was 14 sin bins, and I think there was 1 or 2 send-offs.
Yeah. You know what's funny?
So the send-off's gone.
That round's actually one of our biggest ever YouTube episodes. I think it's like 100,000 views because it was a Magic Round. Everyone was filthy and they were just like waiting for someone to blow up about it.
Yeah.
Did you blow up or did you sit on the fence?
No, we blew up. We blew up all right, mate. Don't you worry about that, mate.
Don't you worry about that, mate.
I'll fucking go over to him,
I fucking blew up, mate.
I got a call from fucking NRL, mate. Said, see you later, mate. No, I didn't.
You going to a Magic Round?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, mate. Sometimes you fucking... I don't know if you're a Magic guy.
Oh, fucking... Are you serious? Broncos are all about Magic. It's Manly that don't get Magic. We went through this.
I just thought you may not go.
Are you going to Magic Round?
Of course we are, mate.
Is Manly?
A couple of magicians over here.
Nah.
A couple of magicians.
I told you Manly don't get Magic.
Yeah.
We get Magic.
Fuck. Magic Round hasn't been kind to us, really, so best we just have a breather.
Is it news or
No,
Manly?
No, it's been good to us.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So essentially, the high tackle crackdown isn't a crackdown. It is, in a sense, a
reinforcing.
softening.
No, it's a softening.
Yeah,
It's actually a softer.
I think it's a
softer
softening.
rule.
I feel like he could have just come out and said, you know what? The refs got it wrong on the weekend. We're going back to the rules are still there. They just got it wrong on the weekend. But I actually didn't think the only one that I thought that was worth a 10 in the bin was Luai because his feet left the ground.
See, I missed that one. I haven't seen it.
The other ones, they had mitigating circumstances. It was funny because you could see Jordan Ricky was almost like he started to walk because he was like, oh, I'm fucking going here. And then he didn't get sent 10 in the bin. He was like, oh, shit, how good.
Love that. Yeah, look, it seems to...
Much ado about nothing?
Well, it's if you smack someone in the head, you go to the bin. Sweet. Play on. Good. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Boys, make sure to grab some Grumpy Coffee. Got my coffee right here. grumpycoffee.com.au, beautiful coffee. Also, give Grumpy Drinks a follow on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We've got some really, really fun, cool content coming out very soon. It'll start to be very regular. We've been filming it for the last couple of weeks. And make sure to grab some coffee. Beautiful, beautiful coffee.
What sort of stuff you filming?
Well, I don't want to spoil the surprise, mate.
Just give us a little teaser. Yeah.
No, mate, I don't want to give a...
You can't teaser, mate.
No, mate, no teasers here, mate.
Teasers, bro.
You wait, let the people wait, mate.
Give us a flick.
No flip, mate.
Just flick a bean, bro.
Just flick us,
No
mate.
beans getting flicked here, mate.
Just flick us, mate.
No flicking of beans here, mate.
We want to be flicked.
Never heard that in my life before. I mean, the boys even waited till they arrived to have their coffee. That's how much they love it. That's a true story, too.
That's a fucking true story.
That's a true story.
That's green
This
room.
actually was my first of the day, so
you
thank
go.
you.
But I went downstairs. I had my brekkie wrap, and I was like, I'm not having a coffee because I'm going to get.
Did you get a brekkie wrap from downstairs?
Yeah.
What's it like?
I bet, was it
A
anywhere?
schnitzel wrap, not a brekkie wrap. Sorry.
They used to do the best breakfast wraps downstairs.
Dude, it sucks down there.
Dude, we went down there last week.
We won't name the
We
store,
won't name them.
but
We
it
went down there
fucking
last... Was it last week or week before? And it
Week
was
before.
dog shit.
We went in there and we went, I'm not going here ever again.
Oh, no.
That was the best cafe maybe I've ever had. Like, it was the most meaningful cafe in my life.
I felt something when I went in there. We'd finish, we'd go in there, Tom and I, we'd chill out, we'd eat. It was just such a nice vibe.
Yeah. We were like
They
an old
knew
married
us.
couple sometimes. We'd sit there and we wouldn't even
We
say
wouldn't
a
even
word to each other.
talk. And I liked that.
Yeah, it
I'm
was
like,
nice.
we'd just sit down. I sometimes, like, we would have a Bloody Mary as
Yeah.
well.
Really?
Get in there, have a feed, have a Bloody Mary.
Hell, eh?
Old mate used to know us. He'd give us a shot when we'd finish
Give us a
sometimes,
shot,
like a
like an
limoncello.
digestive.
Thursday is a new Friday. They do say that.
And it was like Thursday, the week's fucking done. I can chill out. I'm fucking content's over, basically. You know,
Essentially,
it's the weekend, and I was just so.
and Monday
good.
doesn't count either because it's Monday.
listen.
So really, you just work
Now
on
I'm-
Tuesday.
now-
Tuesday's
Thursday.
the only
Fuck off. We don't work Monday.
Yeah, well, we work Monday.
Oh yeah, fine, mate.
We work
we
Monday.
work Monday, mate.
Yeah, fucking
And now it's all been taken away from me,
Yeah.
and Fridays have got busier, and it's all just shit.
this life is just shit.
No, life's good, but it's like
Have
not
you got
what it was.
the stream tonight?
No.
Okay.
This week's a fucking mongrel of a week, and we've also got the golf day tomorrow.
Can you tell the people about your disgusting habits that made you dirty?
So, I mean, listen, I don't appreciate the way that was framed to you all, but I'm happy to share because I fucking don't care. But I got an ingrown hair on my inner thigh, punters and dribblers, and
Allegedly.
then it became, an ingrown hair. It got red, it got sore. Nothing crazy. Couple of weeks, I just left it. I was like, leave this thing. Don't worry, don't piss it off. People are like, try fucking pull a hair out. I'm like, I'm leaving it. It died down, thankfully. Then, Saturday night, Dad goes out for a couple of beers with his friends.
Oh, the immune system gets smashed. Okay.
I didn't even have that late at night. It was like 2 hours. I went out at 10 o'clock. I was home at 1. I'm out there.
That's
3.
full.
Well, you get it, right? Fucking don't shit down my throat. I got a boil, all right? Things are already tough.
Pretty late though.
I then
1 o'clock. I'm in bed by 10 on a Saturday, mate.
lame. I am as well.
Spent time with your wife, mate.
Well, she was in bed. She was asleep. I wanted to catch up with some friends. Don't shit down my throat. I grazed my leg with my hand. I'm like, fuck, that feels like it's back. And then within 12 hours,
Really?
it was fucked. Like, I couldn't walk down my hall.
Was it all red or was there yellow? Could you see the yellowness?
No, it was black inside.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it was
How much
black.
hair came out when you did pull it out?
I didn't pull shit out, dude. This is actually the mistake I made. I sterilised some tweezers and I just tried to rip it apart.
Oh.
Why'd you do that?
Because I thought I saw a whitehead in there. So I was like, I need to get this thing out. It was hurting so much. And I couldn't, like, I would have had to have been like someone who really wanted to hurt themselves if I was going to rip it
get
open.
it all
So
out.
I couldn't do it. And then I put a Band-Aid over it. And then eventually when I took the Band-Aid off, it stuck to it and just it just popped and it fucking went everywhere. But anyway, I had to go get a fucking lance. I had to go to a doctor's. He gave me like all these injections and shit to try and numb it. It didn't work. I screamed on the table like a child. I embarrassed myself.
Yeah,
and
so
my
tell them
family.
through that, how you...
What did old mate say when you started squealing?
Listen, it
The
wasn't my proudest moment, but it also wasn't my least proud moment, which is, positive.
There was no poo involved.
Correct.
That we know of.
Look, I
Maybe
can
that's what got
confirm there was
infected.
no poo, but it fucking wrecked, dude. He was sticking needles into it to try and numb it. Like, that in and of itself hurt. And then he's like, all right, it's numb now. And then he just starts hacking in, and I'm like, bro, it's not numb. I can feel every little bit of this. It kind of didn't get numb till I got home.
Oh, no way.
Anyway, we're on the mend now, guys. That's all. I'm a
Good to go?
boil guy, unfortunately, which, I'm a bit of a germaphobe generally, so to have my body be so gross hurts.
Definitely not a temple anymore, that's for sure. Maybe a poo temple.
Yeah, well, it hasn't been a temple for a while. We can acknowledge that.
Need to give him some imperial leather.
What's that? That's soap?
Yeah, so, mate.
Yeah,
Black and,
soap.
black
scrubbing.
and red.
Mate, I scrubbed. Don't worry about that.
You scrub?
I
You scrub? Doesn't sound like you do.
Listen, dude, you can't help. Sometimes you get an ingrown hair.
You need to start shaving your legs, mate.
Well,
Like
you
Denon.
can tell us about that.
That's
How do
why
we
I
do
fucking
it?
said the joke.
Well, how do you do it? You shaving them or you waxing them or
I'm
what?
shaving them, mate.
You don't wax?
Don't wax.
You
Never
got
wax.
laser?
No laser.
He gets laser.
Yeah.
Do you laser, mate?
Yeah,
Yeah,
back.
that's nice, mate. You're back? Really? Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. Sure. Knew something about you every day.
I know, right? He's a bit of a sensitive new age guy.
At least we both don't get boils.
Well, hey, dude, listen, you don't know until you get one. Yeah, boil could be just around the corner.
I do know. I would have got that ingrown out before it got bad. 'Cause
Yeah,
as soon
see,
as
I
I
left
get any ingrown, I'm in straight into it.
That's my mistake.
Yeah.
I tried to
You
leave
can't
it.
let those things
You've
rot.
got to just get in
And
there.
you got to put a bit of soap on there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you got to start soaping your bod.
No, I
Soap the bod, mate.
I soap my bod. I let this thing get out of
Big
control.
soap reach out.
I let it get away from me.
You've
all
got
right? I let it get away
your
from me.
skin's not tip top, is it?
No,
Well, I have psoriasis. That's actually a gut issue, punters and dribblers.
Is it?
But this thing down
Listen,
here.
we can make some money off this because soap reach out. We'll do some kind of sponsored
It's got to be a
segment.
natural soap. That's what I'm about now. You need the
Okay,
natural
well,
soaps.
beggars can't be choosers. I'll take the cash.
No, I'm not. I'm a natural soap.
You
guy
wouldn't
now.
promote. You wouldn't like for
It's like big shampoo, dude. I'm not doing it. I refuse.
We'd bend over for big shampoo if the money was right.
No, dude. Nuh-uh.
You wouldn't bend over. I bend over.
Bullshit.
There is not an amount of money on earth to get me to bend over to big shampoo.
I was a sellout. I sold out, boys. I have to let you know. I sold out.
To what?
So I had the goatee.
Yeah, where's
I
your
was gonna
goatee
grow
going?
it.
Where's the shibber?
Yeah. Let me tell you. So I was going to grow it until we lost. Anyway, I had a very important shoot with KO, and it was the interview with Timmy, and it's going on KO. If it was just going on Bloke YouTube, I'd be fine. But KO were like, listen, bro, you can't be fucking rolling out with that.
Bullshit. I bet you use that as an excuse to get rid of it. Because you just be like, listen.
I can show you the text later if you want.
This is part of who I am. This is my identity.
No. Can show you
I'm
the
a
text
goatee
later.
guy.
No.
Can you grow it back, please?
Please. It looks good on you, dude.
If we win this weekend, I'll consider it. If he plays well this weekend, the goat.
If he scores a try.
If he scores a try this weekend, you have to grow it for 3 months.
No, fuck it. Come on,
What?
bro. You got to be reasonable with this.
man.
If he scores this week, I will grow it for a period of
Well, how
time
long?
until I have
Well,
to
how
sell
long?
out again.
Well, how
Until I
long?
might have
At
to
least
sell
a
out again.
month. Yeah, at least a month.
How much
not-
did you have to do it for last time? Was that a month or was that a week?
No, it was a while. I actually remember looking at
You've got a
photos.
fucking strong goatee, dude.
Yeah, it's-
like
it's
nothing else
dark.
seems to come in. It gets
It's
fucking
dark, man. I was
the
looking
best
at
part about
pictures. Oh, come on, mate. That's not nice. So look, if he scores this weekend, I'll look to grow the goatee.
For how long? We need numbers.
Oh, you
The
can't
people
be like
need a number.
Yeah, but what if I've got to shoot content with like an actual professional business soon?
You can look professional and have a goatee. Shibasaki's a professional.
But his looks
Robert
neat. Mine
Whittaker's
looks
a professional.
Bad. Mine looks bad.
Yeah, you're almost implying Tony Carroll was never professional. Which is, that's
goatees don't look good at the start. They need to grow a bit.
That's why you get
You'd
it.
have a
No.
decent one after a week.
No,
Easy.
it looks weird. It's too much. It's too aggressive.
No,
You got one now, basically.
But as I said, listen, I've given you something. I said if he scores, I'll grow it for a bit, all right?
But your bit's so vague.
Yeah,
so
because
vague. Could be a
I'm a
day.
sellout. If I've got to do shoot content for a professional
I
outfit.
think that you could say...
How many shoots you doing? Well,
Mate,
you missed a shoot? You
Yeah,
shoot
whatever.
every week?
Mate,
What's
I'm
going on
fucking
here?
businessman, mate. I'm a
You
businessman.
don't do that many shoots.
I did a bloody shoot the other day, mate.
Fucking shoots all the time.
Oh, here we go, mate.
We do shoots. We're not doing that many shoots. You do a couple of shoots.
Couple of shoots.
You might do 5 or 6 shoots a year.
If I don't do a shoot, it'll stay for longer then, won't it, mate?
Okay.
I'm just throwing in there.
I don't want you making up shoots. That's
No,
what
yeah,
I
that's
said.
I'll show you the text.
These need to be verified shoots.
They are verified. I'll show you.
All right.
I'll show you the text.
But I need to see you go back and go, this is my fucking line in the sand. here.
No, I'm not. There's no line of sand. I'm
You
a
think
sellout.
they're going to fucking sack you
I'm
for a
selling
goatee?
out.
dude?
No, I'm selling out.
Come
I
on.
want to work. I want to work
I
with
don't
them.
reckon you even got text about the goatee.
No, I actually texted first to be sure because I'm a good.
So you said, do you mind
so
if I have a
there you
goatee?
go.
Yeah. So there you fucking go.
Yeah, because I'm trying to be good to work with.
Bro, if you rocked up with that goatee, you're
It wasn't
interviewing
even that
Tim's-
long.
No.
It was pretty
You
strong. It
rock
gets
up with
strong
that
quickly.
goatee, you just would have been like, oh, sweet, Denon's a goatee guy. now.
No,
He's
you
trying
don't.
something
That's
new.
not how you work, mate. You
Denon's
gotta
trying something new.
You gotta see first. Hey, mate, is it all good? Nah, they probably want you clean shaven.
Denon must be
Okay.
going through some shit. He's growing a goatee. You know, maybe just ask how he's doing.
I
Might
tell
be
you,
role play. Who
mate, I
knows?
tell you what. Who's got a hot rebound goatee? It's the great Gutho.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's a
See,
rebound goatee
big.
of note.
That's a big one, that one.
That is like truly.
Clean.
It's the same as women dyeing their hair a different
Yeah,
colour when they
absolutely.
get dumped.
Yeah, or getting a hot body.
Yeah.
And every time he was yelling after they won some kind of battle with the Melbourne Storm, he's like, "You missed this, Penrith.
Oh, yeah.
I mean Panthers. I mean Eels."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah, we kind of do."
No, well, we definitely do.
Well,
they're
they-
going to miss it even more this weekend. He's going to come back and
Oh,
fuck
because
them.
yeah, the goatee's going to come back to fuck him.
Yeah, you're going to get fucked by a goatee this weekend.
Alrighty. Latrell Mitt, he returns, boys.
Love it. Dude, he's looking good.
He's looking
He's got
so
that real
hot.
high and tight faded haircut.
yeah.
His jaw's chiseled. He's also got like the faded beard, jaw chiseled,
Looking fit.
jacked.
Big
I
boy.
cannot wait to see
In
him
the
play.
centres.
Love him at centres.
Oh yeah,
Because
And
then we get that short king still, you know?
yeah, the short king.
I
mate.
love the short king.
He is the king of all short kings.
Oh yeah, he's short. He's shorter than Jockey's. Vossi was saying.
He is seriously the short
Have
king.
you heard that? Shorter than
Darren
Beedman?
Hugh Bowman.
Huey Bowman.
know how-
Shorter than Huey Bowman.
You know how tough you
Is
have
that
to
legit,
be.
or are we just saying that?
Vossi said it.
Okay.
So it must be true.
But like to be that short but that dominant, like
That's what I'm saying. I
that's-
love that
that's
shit.
hogged up stuff.
Yeah. He's an inspiration to short people everywhere.
He's a short king. He's the king of them.
Yeah, he is. He's the king of them.
So Trelly Mid returns.
And spelt with a Y. Just
which
needs
look,
to be
I love
acknowledged.
that. As a big rain guy with a Y, I love the Y.
There you go.
Big Y guy. Guys,
How's,
good morning.
how's Rain spelled? R-A-Y-N?
R-E-Y.
R-E-Y-N, yeah.
And speaking of Ys, KO, reminder that you can watch every game of every round this NRL Premiership season live with no ad breaks during play at KO Sports. Don't miss all the action and get on board today. If you love sport, it's on KO. You can't miss it. Lachie Galvin, there are reports that the Tigers are going to offer Lachie Galvin a 5-year deal for $1 million a season. $1 million a season.
Just confirmation that he is shorter than Hugh Bowman. He's also short.
Nice,
He's also
mate.
shorter
Bro.
than Clive Churchill.
You know how good that is for like a lot of young kids growing up that always get told they're too small.
You
small
don't
for NRL?
have to be a jockey.
He's coming like in the top. He's coming in the top 10 of post contact meters.
Do you know what I mean? Like people that tall who grow up thinking their whole life they have to be jockeys.
It's like the opposite with basketball players. That people that are really tall, they get told you have to play basketball.
Yeah.
If you're a short king,
It's
you always get told to be
exactly
a
the
jockey.
same.
You got to be a
thing.
jockey.
Lachie Galvin, $1 million a season.
Jockey Galvin.
Jockey Galvin.
Jockey Galvin. I think it's a lot of money,
Yeah, but in this salary cap.
but listen,
It's in this salary category.
if you're feeling him, if you're vibing him, just fucking lock him.
Well,
down.
he's
See how it
good.
goes.
He's good. There
Lock
aren't
him
many
down.
that are good.
Mate, fuck it.
Everyone's going to be coming for
You know,
him.
fuck it.
Bro, $1 million is just, it's normal now. It's almost like the standard wage.
There's
in
no,
rugby.
mate, and there's no one out there. We talked about it last week at nauseam, and I know Lockie's a 6, and we're talking 7s, but fuck, there's not that many 6s getting around either.
Still can't buy a house. That's all good.
To come by what?
Well, you know, like he's not. You can't just go out there. He's not. It's not like he's balling these days. $1 million is just fucking.
Mate, with inflation, mate.
Inflation, mate. It's fucking hard to
Fucking 200 grand these days, mate.
Fucking nothing, mate.
Do you know Sydney is either the second or the most, like, housing-wise expensive city in the world?
Yeah, I've heard something.
Just behind Hong Kong.
It's the
Which is insane to think.
It's actually fucking infuriating because
I
it's
thought it was
such a good
behind
city.
London and New York as well.
No, I think it's behind, when it comes to housing specifically, it's just behind Hong Kong, I think.
So not including apartments and shit. Is that the differentiation?
I think like cost of living, like with the, like you Google it, it'll be on Google. The actual, because it's not, when you type in what are the most expensive cities, it's not in the top 10. It's like 11 or 12, I think. But when you type in like unaffordable or some shit like that,
Affordability, mate.
Affordability, mate.
Well, the price of schooners, mate.
Yeah, mate.
$17 for a schooner these days, mate.
Mate, coffees at cafes are like $10 now. It's getting insane.
No, yeah, coffees are fucking bullshit. I remember when coffees were $3, mate, last.
That's why, mate, you need a grumpy coffee, mate. Grumpycoffee.com.au.
Good point.
Alrighty, let's get into some tips, boys.
Raiders.
Sharkies.
Sharks are done.
Sharks are done?
Would you agree with people are saying this? Would you agree with this or not? That the Sharks have got a bit of cheerleader sort of effect about them. When you get up close, they're not that hot.
That is so fucking rude.
What do you think about that?
I don't agree with the premise, mate.
You don't agree
You
with
don't
it?
agree with it?
The premise is fucking disrespectful.
Oh, so he doesn't like the premise.
Oh, the premise. You don't like the premise?
Don't like the premise, mate.
But do you think that they are not that
You
hot?
basically call them pretenders.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. We're in round 4, plenty of time.
Do you think if I had a gun to your testicles right now and said, can they win the premiership? Give me an actual
Right
answer.
now?
Yeah. No,
No.
just as in like, do you looking at that side?
So Penrith aren't going that well right now.
I need an answer.
So I'm just trying to work
Politician Kemp over here.
it out. No, there's no politician here, mate.
Will they win the comp this year? Yes or no?
Will they win the comp?
Yes.
I don't have them as my winner. No.
Yes or no?
Can they?
Will they?
No, they won't.
There you go.
But they can.
There you go.
So,
But they can.
no, they won't.
They won't.
And that's what I'm talking about.
They don't have enough mongrel in them.
No, not enough cunt.
You don't reckon AFB has enough mongrel in him? Or Cam McInnes?
He has enough mongrel in him.
Cam McInnes
the
doesn't?
team doesn't.
Britton Nicola doesn't have enough mongrel in him.
Soft underbelly.
You reckon those boys have soft underbelly?
The team. When you come together, cohesion.
I reckon they might be Manly.
I wouldn't be fucking so sure about that. Point is, a lot of people, not just Tom and I, a lot of people saying bit of cheerleader effect about the Sharkies. That's what people are saying.
I think it's round 4.
Tell you who's saying it? Buzz Rothfield's saying it.
Do you reckon the Bulldogs can win
Number
the
one.
No. Because they have a hard underbelly.
No, I don't think they will. No.
They run around with fucking hard-ons.
I don't think they'll win the comp, but they're certainly better than the Sharks.
Wow, okay. So you reckon Manly have a hard underbelly?
Yes.
Outside of Manly, I think there are 3 teams that can win the comp this year.
Yeah, it's Broncos, obviously.
It pains me to say it, yes. I think it'll be either Manly, Ovs, Broncos, Storm, or Panthers.
Okay.
I don't think anyone else is a fucking hope in hell.
Okay.
Hold on. When it comes to average median house prices, Sydney's 10th, but when it comes to median price to income ratio, it's second behind Hong Kong.
So like compared to how much people earn to how expensive it is?
There you go.
So which is
That's
affordability.
fucking mad. Thank you, Sydney.
Well done.
That's awesome.
Well done.
Yeah, it's great, dude. It's mad.
It's awesome to know.
It's mad trying to get a fucking house.
Yeah, thanks heaps.
Cheers.
Thanks heaps, generation before us. Really
Cheers,
took care of
thanks,
us.
everyone.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
just fucking shitting down our throats.
You know what, boys? Just don't have avocado toast. That's what you need to
Yeah,
fucking do.
okay, good. Yeah. You don't need to go out.
Listen, it's not like housing prices are like 18 times 20 years ago and our wages have only gone up like 3 times. It's not like that at all. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, but we used to just stay home. You guys go out all the time. Yeah, cunt, because we can't fucking afford to buy a house. What the fuck else are we going to do? And our apartments are all small, so we want to
Drowning
go
our
out
sorrows.
and fucking rip and tear.
Okay, Penrith
Anyway,
Panthers,
all good.
North Queensland Cowboys.
Look, I think the Panthers.
I
because
think
Cleary's back.
the Panthers can't lose again. Not with Big Clezer.
I reckon Isaiah 250 game, they're going to go skits.
Yeah.
They're going skits.
We met Cleary the other day.
Did ya?
Big boy.
Big boy.
Listen, he's got a bit about him, Cleary.
Dude,
But he's bigger.
taller
He's
than I
bigger than you
thought.
might think.
What, Nathan Cleary, taller than you thought?
Yeah.
Did you think he was short?
Well, he's just your halfback, I assume.
exactly.
Yes.
But he's quite tall.
He's
like
taller
6
than us.
foot.
He'd be like 6'1", 6'2".
He's not 6'2".
I reckon he would be.
Maybe
No,
we'll
mate.
sit next to
No,
him.
no,
Maybe
no.
you haven't met him, though?
No, I've taken him in, mate. I've taken him in.
I don't think you've taken him in.
I've taken him in, mate.
You've not taken him in.
Wouldn't be over 6'1",
We've
mate.
billeted him. We've taken him in.
I've taken him in, mate.
Really taking him in.
Like a big glass of milk, mate.
It says here he's 6 foot exactly.
Yeah, we said we looked it up. It said he's 6 foot. We're like lies.
Lies.
Blatant lies. At least
Fibs.
6'2".
And
Maybe
so
6'2".
shoes these days, they got to be a platform about.
Well, I said that, and he's wearing lifts, but we decided no.
Okay, South Sydney versus the Roosters.
South.
Yeah.
Eels versus Dragons.
Eels.
Dragons. Fucking dumb.
Did you say Eels?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're being contrarian. Okay, I get it. And then, like, if you don't get it, no one will say anything. But if you do, you'll come back in and be like,
I think the Eels will win this week.
but no, that's the thing. No one will remember this shit take. But if you do get it,
I've said it
you'll
on,
come in and be like,
the
"Look at
number
my
one
dick.
gambling
Look
show
how
in
big my
all
dick is."
history
You
about
did,
it.
absolutely.
So
You
it's like
did say it on the number one
I'm
betting show in the country.
I'm fully held accountable.
Yeah,
so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I did say it.
Gold Coast Titans, Dolphins.
I think the
Titans.
Dolphins win.
He's being a bit late.
Oh, okay. This is the
Yeah,
Eddie
this
that's
is
rocked
the
up.
sort of energy he's
Contrarian,
got. Yeah,
contrarian Eddie's rocked up. Okay. Broncos, Tigers. So do it this time.
I think the Broncos win. I think the Broncos win.
Manly Storm.
Manly.
Doggies, Knights.
Doggies.
Knights.
Oh, fuck off.
I swear to God, I'm going Knights. I am. Off the bye, I like them.
I'm going Adam Elliott anytime I score a Y.
Have a
The
guess.
hog base best.
No, have a guess. Think about
Why?
it. Think about it deeply.
Well, because he was at the Doggies.
No, think about it deeply. I'm
Deep
thinking
enough.
about it deeply. Adam Elliott. That's what we need to think about.
Oh, well, I know he's hogged up.
No,
but
he is
you-
hogged up, but that's not.
But why would he be on him? Because he's got a big dick? Not enough.
And also not comparable.
Yeah, Matty's got it because he's smart.
Oh, Millie Boyle.
All right, I gotta go. My wife's
All
calling
right,
me.
we'll go
Bye.
fuck ourselves.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.